Hey there, today we will look how to integrate GroovePage or GrooveFunnel with a multiple MailChimp field list. So this is a bit more work and a bit more tricky, so let's get into it. So first, let me say hello, my name is Jeff. I'm always looking to help. So if you have a question on GrooveFunnel or GroovePages, just leave me a comment below. Thank you. So we have two methods to integrate with Groove, Funnel, and MailChimp. So the first one is the API key integration, and the second one is the embed form integration. So the API key lets you integrate MailChimp with redirection after. That could be useful in some scenario, but it may be a bit more work if you have multiple fields because you have to add the field by yourself. The second method is the embedded form integration. It lets you easily integrate with MailChimp all the fields that you have on the list, but without a redirection at the end, so you stay on the same page. So what we need, so we need a GrooveFunnel or a GroovePage account. So if you don't have one, you can have one for free for life, actually with all the tools they currently have. So the free version is available. You can look at the link in the description below. You need also to have the MailChimp and GrooveFunnel integration for that. If you need to know how to do the integration, I have another video for that. But for now, the integration, I will not go through the integration, connecting the piece together in that video. You need additional field than just the email, first name and last name. So I create a phone field, an address field, and a text field. So tips and tricks, node from field. So working with Mailchimp and with GrooveFunnel, I understood that the address field in Mailchimp is a complex type, so a complex data type, meaning that the address field represents multiple fields. So when we try to work with GrooveFunnel, we will need to work with them differently. Also, when you do your integration, if at some point if you copy a field to add multiple field, sometimes the names can be stay unchanged. So if you have problems sending information to MailChimp from GroovePage, just double click check that all the field in your form in GroovePage have different name and all the name are matching with your audience list in MailChimp. Finally, after all the tests that I have made, it seems that the backend code from GrooveFunnel interfere a bit with the API key interface to send complex field for sending complex field to MailChimp. So I will have to follow up with support on that, but basically what we will see in a few moments is that the address field is not working with GrooveFunnel. So this is what the address type field look in MailChimp. So you have, this is considered one field. And when you access and when you push the field to MailChimp, you need to type address in the brackets, one, two, like that, instead of just address. So this is a bit more complex. So this is the problem that we have right now with the integration. And also we have the USA here, the address country is a drop down. So MailChimp is expecting to have a value like 164 for the USA. So for the end user, you need a drop down to show this kind of information. And looking at GrooveFunnel, we don't have currently the drop down in the form field that we can use. So this solution has this approach has two problems with GrooveFunnel actually. So we have two solutions to address that. The first one is that we don't use the address data type and we create instead multiple or one. It's dependent on how you want to manage the address. So multiple text field to keep the address information. So I will show you this in a bit moment. And also we use the embedded, or you can use the embedded form in MailChimp on your page. But this has the disadvantage of not having a redirect at the end if you want this, if you need this function. So let's look into it. So looking at here, so in my GrooveFunnel account, I have two pages, the version 1, which is the API integration, and the version 2, which is the form field. So if I look at version 1, when you create a connection actually or a component, MailChimp component into GrooveFunnel, what you have to do actually is to go into integration, just a bit below. You keep this and you drag and drop it. You will see that it gives you the email and the subscribe button. You can easily, if you have multiple fields, for example, come here and click here to copy this field. So you can copy it multiple times, and then you will be able to go into configure and type phone and, for example, your phone here, like that. So you can do this multiple times. You can also add validation, that kind of stuff, if the field is required, and so on. So I already done this below, as you can see. So I will delete this one. So if you can see, I have create the first name, the last name, email, address one. So this is actually an address. So you see that address is address one. So the name of the field defined in MailChimp with the accessor, actually the subfield integrated in. Address two, city, states, zip phone, etc. So, and the phone is the phone, and the address text is a text address. So this is the form that is currently connected to the MailChimp integration. If we go into MailChimp, this is where you define your field. So if when you create a list the first time, you have basically first name, last name, and email address. So you can add other fields. So this is what I was talking about. So you see here that the type of the address one is address. The type of phone is phone. So this working well, and that this type of address text is text. So when you add a field, you came here, and this is the type of field that you can use actually. So I use this one. You can use these one also. These will be probably a bit more complex, but we have to test. This one also, birthday. So these could be also more complex, this one. So it's basic probably field type that will work. So if this doesn't work when you do your integration, do a step back, change your field with another type of field like a text field, and check if it's working well actually. So for now we have defined this. We will go back here and see how it works. So this is my test page. If I select here Mr. Testing number 6, for example, you see that all the field are filled. This is the country. So the country actually supposed to be a drop-down where the value of the drop-down is the number of the country. So it's 164. This is the internal number for MailChimp. And this will be text V6, for example. So if I click subscribe here, I suppose that all the information will go into MailChimp. Subscribe, I see the thank you page with the redirect. If I come back to my audience here and I click on audience to refresh the page, you will see that I have a text 6 here, but you see that I don't have actually the address field. The address field is empty. If I come here, you see that everything here is empty. USA is probably because it's default, or um, I suppose that this is because it's default actually, the phone number, that kind of stuff. So this not really working for you if you want to use an address type. So this is why one of the solution is to make multiple line of text. So you can do address one, address two with the text field actually instead of using the address type. The other solution that I was talking about is with the embedded form code. So in the audience, you have sign up form. And when you come in sign up form, you have form builder embedded form. So if you use embedded form, you see here a preview of the form. And what you can do is you can copy the code that is here and go back into GrooveFunnel. I will take the second page that I use, and I will show you how to do this. So how to integrate the embedded form into GrooveFunnel. So to do that, actually you go to Element, and instead of going to Integration section, you go to Other, and you use the component Code Embed. So you can drag it here. Let it refresh. I will remove like that. And then I will come here and click on the wheel to paste the code that I took from the MailChimp site. As you can see here, this is the name of the field. So you see that they use themselves address 1, accessor, address 2, etc. So it's really, this wise, I really am thinking that the problem may be on the back end of GrooveFunnel, and I will follow up with them actually with that. So I save. Once it's saved, as you can see here, this is normal that you cannot edit the form. So if this is one of the inconvenience that we have. So the one inconvenience is that you cannot not have a redirect. So actually the page will stay on itself. So you cannot redirect at another page. And the second one is that you cannot really edit the form. So if you want to edit the form, you will have to move to play with the HTML code that is here. So it's a bit more advanced actually. So I will save that. I will go back to my page actually here, which is the page with the embedded form in it. So you see all the field. I can create a text 7, and you see here my test 7 field, and I click subscribe. And as you can see here, text for subscribing. So I stay on the same page. So this is the things that may be not practical for your use case actually. Going to my audience again, if I click here on update, you will see that now Groove 7 is there. And you see that my address field is filled out. So it's possible to work, but you have some constraint actually. So that's it for this small video. I hope you enjoy it. If you find it useful, please like it and subscribe to my channel. And I wish you a wonderful day. Bye bye.